Afternoon, Roger. How are you?
Good afternoon. It's nice to have a sunny day in Belfast for a change.
Absolutely. We haven't had a huge amount of opportunity to say that, but I can confirm, yeah, that is accurate as we sit here now. Let's hope it continues for a little bit. So, Roger, welcome to the Business Spotlight. Thanks very much for taking the time to have a chat with me today. Could we start? Could you tell me a little about yourself and your background and your business, please?
So I've been in the software world for over 30 years. I've lived and worked around the world. I'm currently CEO of an amazing company called Axial 3D. We are uniquely the world's leaders in medical 3D imaging. We work with some of the biggest hospital systems in the world. We work with many of the biggest medical device companies in the world, and we're headquartered in Belfast and very proud of it.
And so tell me, what you're before joining Axial 3D, tell me a little about, you said you've been in software for 30 years. Give me a little flavor of what that involved.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate. I started life with a company called Anderson Consulting, which was one of the great software companies of the late 1980s. And since then, I've been involved in 5 or 6 amazing early and mid-stage companies growing through to whatever their natural endpoint or next stage has been. Those companies range from small startups through to the incredible journey I had with Kainos, who are one of Northern Ireland's most amazing successes. So very proud to have been there for 5 years.
What was it that particularly attracted you to Axial 3D?
So Axial 3D is predicated on truly a world unique invention, which is being able to turn medical images that as a layperson, when I look at an MRI or CT, I don't understand them. So at scale, turning those images into incredibly precise 3D images. We're the first company in the world to be able to do that at scale. The precision is incredible. The flexibility of the output is incredible. So you can look at it for surgical planning. You could put it into a workflow if you're a medical device company and create a patient-specific device from it, that maybe a new joint, if you need a replacement knee that fits perfectly to your knee or whatever. So there are many applications, but we're very proud that this invention came from Northern Ireland. We're heavily patent protected, in particular in the US Patent Office. So we think that even though we're from this small part of the world, that we've got something that can fundamentally change healthcare around the world.
And when was the concept or the technology born?
Yeah, so the founder is a good friend of mine called Dan Crawford. He's currently my chief strategy officer. And the idea was born in 2016 when he was looking at how he could provide better information to surgeons who were really struggling to best diagnose and plan for complex patient cases. He came across the world of 3D imaging and 3D printing, and from that he worked out what the problem in the world was, which is, how do we do this at scale? This isn't something that needs to be done for 1 in 10,000 cases. Every patient deserves this 3D imaging. So what do I need to do to make this both affordable and as accessible for every patient who has an MRI or a CT scan?
What at the minute, as we sit here today, what's even in the UK, for example, in the NHS, so what's preventing people from getting access to the what sounds like phenomenal technology that Axial brings to the table?
Yeah, so there are really good reasons and maybe some not so good reasons. The good reasons are, with any healthcare technology that's being used to help the care that's given to a patient, the regulators and the hospitals and the caregivers need to be super careful to make sure that the new device or the new solution is safe. So first of all, does it provide the clinical benefits or whatever benefits are claimed? Does it do it in a safe way? Are there unintended consequences which could cause other problems? So that whole regulatory testing or clinical studies and just time it takes to get that level of confidence before it's released to the public or wider market is, I suppose, a good reason. And whilst we're all frustrated, these processes take a long time. Of course, if something is faulty with the product or device, then it's better taking time to find that out. The bigger challenges are just not unique to the NHS, but of course, we all know of the funding challenges in the NHS. And just because whether it's my product or someone else's solution can save time, can save money, and save patient lives, it doesn't mean the resources are available to actually make the investment, not just in the technology, but actually adopting it and building it into the care pathways. So I think just in the NHS, and of course in some other healthcare systems around the world, it's just the stress that's in the environment that means that keeping the lights on and keeping the minimum care that's needed by society available is where 95% of the energies are going.
And if somebody doesn't come from a medical background or a technical or a software background, what sort of examples could you tell me that Axial bring to the table?
Yeah, so I'm one of those people. So unlike most of my company, I'm not medically trained. I'm a lay person. I've had a number of orthopedic trauma injuries when I was younger and playing sports. I've had children, and so I've seen various ultrasounds. So I've been a consumer on the receiving end when a doctor or nurse says to me, Roger, as you can clearly see from this medical image, and I can't see anything. The 3D that we provide from those images brings that into ultra clarity where even a layperson like me can understand. This can be used across virtually any surgery. There is no surgery that would be better supported by a 2D image, an MRI, CT, or X-ray, than the 3D. It's just good enough, maybe, if you can't get access to the 3D. So 3D will start life with the more complex surgeries. So that could be complex trauma, it could be a congenital heart disease, it could be an aneurysm in your brain or somewhere else in your vascular system, it could be a stroke. So it's typically complex surgeries, maybe with pediatrics, with children, where the anatomy is so small, it's even harder to actually diagnose from the medical imaging because the anatomy is so tiny. So anywhere that's difficult is really the starting point for this technology.
It's great to hear about cutting edge technology born in Northern Ireland and the business based in Northern Ireland. I'm guessing that it's widespread. So tell me about your target market?
Yeah, so I must admit, with my age, I'm always cynical just about whether inventions in our little part of the world are always as groundbreaking as founders expect. So before I joined the company, I did a large amount of due diligence, and remarkably, and I'm delighted to say, Axial 3D actually fundamentally has this innovation that is unique in the market today. We are the only company in the world that can automatically turn these MRI and CT scans into incredibly precise 3D at huge scale at a low cost per unit. So that's fantastic. We're heavily patent protected. We're FDA approved for our technology. So we're in a great position. And I think that is a fantastic opportunity for us. Our job is to make this available to as many patients around the world as fast as we can. This is every patient in any part of the world, whether you're first world or third world, deserves access to this 3D imaging and the impact it can have on their lives, and then on the broader effectiveness and care that can be given by the healthcare economy in that country. So our job is building these partnerships, whether it be with hospital systems, the leading hospital systems around the world, or with the big medical device companies who in effect can become our resellers or distributors to get to many more people than we could if we're having to do it directly. To date, we've been used by over 400 hospitals in over 30 countries around the world, by over 40 medical device companies, some of the biggest names in the planet. So we're exceptionally proud of this, but our job now is to really push on and make sure that our technology is being used within years for millions of patients every year, not tens of thousands of patients.
And what would you say, Roger, has been the biggest lesson that you've picked up or learned over your years in business?
Wow, that's a good question. I think if I step away from maybe the product capability, I think having a great team around you. I think over the years I've learned that perhaps the greatest skill is to be aware of the things that you're not good at, and to build a team around you who have those skills to an extent to make you look good. And I'm being slightly facetious in that, but I think a great team will always trump an individual who believes that they have the answers to everything. So that's probably and therefore what we've built at Axial 3D, a great idea and a great innovation is of course fantastic, but we've a remarkable team of a combination of seasoned professionals who've been there, who have the scars as well as understanding how to create success with a new generation of folks with incredible skill sets, and an energy and a desire to fall in behind our mission. And our mission is so great. It's to change the outcomes of millions of patients, of their lives every year. It's a great mission for a company to have. And I think this current generation especially are looking in many cases for a mission that they can truly believe in for the company they want to work for.
Yeah, I love that. Great share. And are there any business leaders that have either influenced you or that have shaped you or that have helped you along the way?
So there are many, and many of them won't necessarily be household names, but are leaders of the various, especially software companies that I've partnered with and worked with, whether it be at AWS or IBM or Microsoft. I think of the founders. I look back to some of the, I guess, more public names of people that I've been fortunate to engage with, but who changed the world. And I think if I look at Microsoft, probably as a great example with the likes of Bill Gates, I think people like that who have a humility and focus on making a difference in the change they can make. And of course, the business has become incredibly successful, but that's not what they're focused. They're not accountants sitting going, how can I increase my gross margin today? They're fundamentally there to change the world. And I think those people with a big mission are the ones that especially over my years, I would gravitate towards.
Superb. And if you were on a desert island and you could have a book or a podcast or I guess both, yeah, what would you choose to read or listen to?
So I think I'm the only person in Northern Ireland who has a deep affinity for the music of Jimmy Buffett. So most people in Northern Ireland won't know who Jimmy Buffett is. If you don't, I'd encourage you to go and find out. So Jimmy Buffett, first of all, is a desert island type of guy. He flew around the Caribbean in a seaplane, and he played very happy music and drank a lot of margaritas. So I would be on a desert island with some Jimmy Buffett music playing, drinking a margarita, and maybe enjoying some of the books that he wrote and toasting his life.
Yeah, I didn't say you could have a drink, but anyway, that's okay. And look, I'm sure it wasn't that long ago, Roger, but if you could go back in time and dish out a bit of advice to your 18-year-old self, what would that be?
Yeah, I think truly, without having rose-tinted glasses, I think following your dream. I think if there's something you believe in, actually being able to go through your working career and pursue something that you believe in. You're going to have good times, you're going to have tough times, but actually being able to have something where deep in your heart that this is what you believe in, the change you're trying to make or the company you're trying to build. I think that helps you through those tough times, but more important, it gives you purpose in life. And I think I would, again, without asking everyone to be rose-tinted glasses in their dreams, I think if you've got that conviction and determination, we only live once, and as I get older, that becomes even more apparent to me. So definitely following your dreams.
And as we're now just over a third of the way through 2024, so what are you most excited about for the remainder of this year and beyond?
Yeah, I think that look, there are challenges around the world, but I'm encouraged by, especially in the post-COVID era, or years, where the innovation that maybe stacked up during that period is now accelerating to market. So whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in broader consumer or other industries, I think that's very exciting. And I think the rate of change, whilst there are, of course, concerns about maybe some of the dangerous sides of, if we use artificial intelligence as an example, there are enormous opportunities with the innovation that's coming through. And I think that's the thing that gets me out of bed every day, is understanding that we can accelerate the disruption and accelerate the change we're making in people's lives compared to what we could have done 10 years ago or 20 years ago. So I think it's just the level of innovation that I watch every day around me is remarkable.
And Roger, if someone likes what they've heard and you've pricked their attention and they'd like to reach out or get in touch in some way, what would be the best way for someone to go about that?
Well, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Roger Johnston, or email me r.johnston@axial3d.com, or come to our website, axial3d.com. And of course, you'll be able to connect to me or any of my team there. Delighted to talk to you, whether you're a patient, whether you're involved in the healthcare industry, either in the hospital or medical device side, or just want to understand more about how this can change the world and lives. We're delighted to do that. Equally, I am a Department of Business and Trade export champion, and I'm always keen to talk to Northern Ireland businesses who have an appetite and a desire to export and export more, but don't necessarily know about how to do that. So really delighted to take time and a coffee to share my thoughts and understanding and any experiences that can help.
Fantastic. Well, like Roger Johnston from Axial 3D, thanks very much for sharing your story and your time. The passion for the product is palpable, and it's genuinely really interesting. And I'll be following closely the journey of Axial 3D now. I know a little bit more about it. So Roger, like, thanks very much. I wish you all the success for the remainder of 2024 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you.